This is good. Very good.
There are some faces in cinema that you never forget. Eyes that seem to stare right through you. A presence that feels both magnetic and dangerous. Udo Kier is one of those faces. For decades, he's been the man directors call when they need someone who looks like he's seen the end of the world, and maybe even enjoyed it. He never tried to hide from genre cinema, he embraced it, from gothic castles to underground labs, from the twisted beauty of exploitation to the elegance of art house, Udo Kier made it all his home. And somewhere between horror, surrealism and camp, he became one of the most recognizable villains in film history. Udo Kier was born in 1944 in Cologne, Germany, during the very last months of World War II. The hospital where he was born was actually bombed shortly after his birth. His mother had to be rescued with him from the rubble. That's how his story began, literally surviving destruction. At just 18, he moved to London to learn English. That decision opened the door to an international career that would take him across continents and genres. He started appearing in films during the late 60s and soon became part of the wave of cult and art house cinema that shaped the following decades.
The blood of this horse is killing me.
Kier collaborated with some of the most daring filmmakers of his time: Werner Fassbinder, Lars von Trier, Werner Herzog, Dario Argento. He was never afraid to take risks, to play strange and dark roles, and let himself become a visual part of the madness unfolding on screen. Over time, his sharp cheekbones, icy blue eyes, and unsettling calm made him a cinematic icon, especially in horror and exploitation films. He became the perfect embodiment of stylish menace. So in this episode, I want to go through some of my favorite Udo Kier roles, especially the villainous ones that defined his career. This is obviously a subjective list because with more than 200 film credits, it's impossible to cover them all. So if I missed one of your favorites, please drop it in the comments. I would love to see which Udo Kier performances you love the most. Let's start where it all really began. Flesh for Frankenstein in 1973 and Blood for Dracula in 1974, both directed by Paul Morrissey and produced by D. Andy Warhol. In Flesh for Frankenstein, Kier plays Baron von Frankenstein, a twisted scientist with an obsession that's as erotic as it is horrifying.
Otto, look at it. Finally we find the right head with the perfect nasum for my male zombie.
And in Blood for Dracula, he becomes Count Dracula himself, a pale, sickly vampire wandering through decaying aristocracy. These two films are absolute cult classics, drenched in camp, blood, and strange beauty. They cemented Kier as the face of European horror, someone who could play pure evil and make it look like art. He also had a small but memorable appearance in Dario Argento's Suspiria. Even in a supporting role, his presence stands out. The moment he steps into frame, you just know something is off. Jumping ahead a bit, The Adventures of Pinocchio from 1996, Kier plays Lorenzini, the villain who tries to manipulate and control Pinocchio. It's technically a family movie, but his performance brings in that classic Kier energy, theatrical, mysterious, and a little terrifying. Then came End of Days in 1999. Arnold Schwarzenegger might be fighting Satan himself in that film, but somehow Udo Kier still manages to steal scenes as a sinister priest. Even when he's not the main villain, he radiates that aura, like he knows more than everyone else in the room, and you probably shouldn't trust him. In more recent years, he's continued to play these quiet, unsettling figures. In Brawl in Cell Block 99 and Dragged Across Concrete, both directed by S. Craig Zachler, Kier plays men who barely move, barely raise their voice, but the moment they appear, you feel the tension rise. They are not monsters this time, just men, but still terrifying. And that's the beauty of Udo Kier. He doesn't need fangs or a cape to be frightening. His presence alone does the job. Of course, Udo Kier isn't just a horror guy. He worked with Gus Van Sant in My Own Private Idaho, playing Hans, a tender, strange and lonely man among drifters. That role helped introduce him to American indie audiences. Then there is Melancholia by Lars von Trier, and he played in a lot of other Trier films as well, but in this one he plays the wedding planner, desperately trying to keep things under control as the world literally ends. It's funny, but it's also tragic, and that's something Kier does better than almost anyone, balancing absurdity and emotion. You might also remember him from Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. Yes, he's in that. He plays the wealthy Ron Kemp, I love that name, one of the many people Jim Carrey's character drives completely insane. It's a small role, but again, it shows his range. He can go from experimental art films to slapstick comedy without missing a beat. And of course, there is Blade, where he plays the vampire elder Dragonetti, a return to his blood-sucking roots, but this time with 90s leather and techno music. Even in a movie full of vampires, Kier still feels like the most ancient and dangerous one in the room. He also appeared in everything from Downsizing to The Painted Bird, and classics like Johnny Mnemonic, somehow always finding that perfect middle ground between disturbing and fascinating. It's a recurring theme in his career. Udo Kier has played Hitler or Hitler-like figures more than once. He's portrayed versions of the dictator in Iron Sky, the bizarre sci-fi satire where Nazis live on the dark side of the moon. He shows up again in Amazon's Hunters TV series, and even in My Neighbor Adolf, a film where he plays a man suspected of being Hitler hiding in South America. Only Udo Kier could make that character feel both eerie and oddly human.
Checkmate.
Let's step away from film for a moment, because one of my favorite Udo Kier appearances isn't even in a film, it's in a music video. In the year 2000, he appeared in Korn's Make Me Bad, directed by Martin Weiss. It's featured Brigitte Nielsen, Tatjana Patitz, Shannon Sossamon, and Udo Kier as a cold, emotionless scientist performing bizarre experiments on the band members. The video was reportedly Korn's most expensive at the time, and it looked incredible, a mix of cyberpunk and alien-style horror. When I first saw it on MTV back in the day, I was blown away. It felt like a mini sci-fi film, a love letter to Alien, and to that whole era of dark, stylish music videos. And of course, Udo Kier was right there at the center of it, looking like he'd been waiting his whole career to operate on Jonathan Davis.
This is good. Very good.
Kier's distinctive voice, that hypnotic, slightly accented tone, made him a natural for voice acting. He voiced characters in animation and video games, including titles like Call of Duty, and he also appeared in Command & Conquer 2: Red Alert.
Empty your mind and submit to my will.
Whether it's a sinister scientist or an evil mastermind, that voice instantly gives away who's in charge. Udo Kier is, without a doubt, a cult icon. Few actors have managed to move so effortlessly between horror, art film, and pure absurdity and still remain completely authentic in every role. Why do I love him? Because he has that otherworldly presence, intense, elegant, and almost alien, but he also feels approachable. You get the sense that he's genuinely enjoying himself, no matter how strange or low budget the production might be. He can work with authors like Trier or Fassbinder, then turn around and do a B-movie vampire flick, and still give 100% to both. At 81 years old, Udo Kier shows no signs of slowing down. According to IMDb, he already has 7 upcoming films, which honestly is just perfect, because the world always needs a bit more Udo Kier. Good luck, Mr. Kier, and here's hoping we will see many more films with you. Thanks for watching.